Hi, hello. I would like to have a quick chat because there is a topic that's really irritating me, and when a topic's irritating me, I like to talk about it. This isn't something that any of my friends or family care about, and I made a TikTok about this to start a discussion, but it got deleted for whatever reason. So I will air my frustrations here instead, because what I have to say I think needs to be said. So I'm not going to go into all the drama with Gabbie Hanna. I'm sure you're probably aware. If you found this video, you probably know what's going on with Gabbie Hanna. And I'm not going to rehash it all. There's millions of sort of commentary people that you can go and watch that will outline the drama better than me. But as a very brief outline, just for context, so you understand what I'm talking about, Gabbie Hanna has sort of gone into an episode where she is melting. She's manic. She's obviously not doing very well. She basically attacked another creator. This creator was given a PR version of Gabbie Hanna's poetry book to read and review. They did read and review it. It was not a glowing review, and Gabbie responded 2 months later for some reason in a very negative light. She's then gone on to attack other creators that have criticised her and has just been an all-around bad person. She has said some horrible things, she has done some horrible things, and then, to top it all off, the cherry on the cake, the reason I am talking about this at all is she has sort of done a bad thing and then immediately revealed that she has ADHD. And I feel, as somebody with ADHD, I don't like that. So just to preface this, just so you're aware, I have ADHD. I am an adult lady. I have only recently found out that I have ADHD, so I'm very sort of active in the communities online, sort of learn about myself. But yeah, so I have ADHD is where I'm coming from with this. And for the past couple of months, I've been integrated into this beautiful community of fantastic people and people that take accountability for their actions.
And then Gabbie Hanna.
It's so manipulative to immediately disclose a condition that you're suffering with after you have done something wrong. That's manipulative. I hope you can see through that, everyone. Because ADHD, yeah, I can look at the actions she's taken, the attacks she's made, the things she's said about other people. I can take what she has done and relate that to experiences that I have had. Because ADHD has a sort of hyperactivity component that some people have, it's not everyone, that seems to be what Gabbie's going through. I go through periods of time where I'm so unfocused and I have so much energy that I just direct my energy in the wrong ways. I get overly invested in things that I shouldn't get invested in, like potentially what Gabbie's going through with the bad review. I feel that I have to voice my opinions even when they don't need voicing. And that happens when you have ADHD. But the problem is that you cannot put your bad behaviour down to having ADHD. Your bad behaviour is your bad behaviour regardless of whatever's going on in your brain neurologically or whatever, because you can work through ADHD, you can work through any condition with the right treatment and the right medications. You can work through sort of whatever condition it is that you're suffering with and be a good person. And the light that you are shedding on the ADHD community is not a positive one. And if that is a community that you are a part of, if you have ADHD, why would you want to demean the community that you are a part of, that you claim to want to sort of talk about? You're like, I want to talk about neurodivergence now. I want to talk about ADHD now. You revealed that you've had ADHD for your whole life, which obviously you've had ADHD for your whole life, because if you have ADHD, you have had it for your whole life. It's just been undiagnosed. I don't know if Gabbie's diagnosed. I don't know if Gabbie, not that it's relevant, but I mean, I don't know if she's diagnosed. I don't know if it's recent that she's been diagnosed and she's going through something. I don't know if she was diagnosed as a kid and has always known this. But to bring up your diagnosis or your self-diagnosis immediately after bad behaviour just portrays that you do not understand right from wrong, nor do you understand how to take accountability for your actions. I will be the first to admit that I have done some shitty things down to having ADHD. When I look back at my life now and know that I have ADHD, I sort of entered and exited relationships really quickly and turned cold on people. I get bored easily. I dropped out of college twice, 2 different degrees, a BTEC and A levels. Then I tried 2 different degrees, dropped out of them both times. I lose interest, I gain interest, I get special interest where I get so invested in certain things that there's no blinkers. I understand where you're coming from. I am there. but I also am a person who needs to take accountability for my actions. So now that I'm realising some of the things that I've done, some of the things that I've put my poor mother through and my poor family through and my friends, they're things that I'm now apologising for, things that I'm now working through and thinking, oh, that behaviour that I exhibited was down to having ADHD, but that doesn't excuse it. Because when I do, say if I was to do a bad thing, that would affect somebody else. And I can't just say, whoa, I have ADHD. I can't be held accountable for my actions because one, I'm a responsible adult. I can be held accountable for my actions. And two, if it affects another person, you need to deal with that. You can't just do bad things and then, whoa, get out of jail free, I have ADHD, because that's not how ADHD works. I don't know if it's sort of a recent thing that she's found out she has ADHD and because of that she's struggling. I can empathise with that completely because, as I said, I've only just, as an adult, found out that I have ADHD in the past couple of months. So that's been a lot for me to work through. I have a counsellor and I hope that Gabbie has the same. She's certainly got the resources to have the same. So hopefully she's in a position where she's working through any of her difficulties, but that still doesn't excuse bad behaviour. And the problem is that she is saying, I know I did this thing wrong, but I have ADHD, so that's that. And that's not the case at all. You've got ADHD and you did a bad thing. It's not correlated. Even if the bad thing you did is because of your inattentiveness or because of your hyperactivity, it doesn't matter. You can't be a bad person just because you have a condition, because so many people worldwide have ADHD or have similar conditions. We can't all just go unaccountable and just do whatever we want because the world would be chaos within days and everything will have burned down and everybody will just be pacing aimlessly because that's what you do when you have ADHD. So I just wanted to come on here quickly because I'm not a drama channel, but I really preach mental health advocacy, as well as neurodiversity advocacy. I have ADHD, I'm neurodiverse. I've got a son with autism, he's neurodiverse. I've got other family members that are neurodiverse. It's very important to me to preach neurodiversity and advocacy for those who are neurodiverse, as well as acceptance and reasonable adjustments. But it's also so important to preach mental health or neurodivergence responsibility because as a human, your actions still affect other humans. So regardless of whatever's going on in your brain, whatever condition it is that you have, if it's a mental health condition, if it's a chemical imbalance, if it's a neurological condition, personality disorder, whatever it is, you are still entirely accountable for your actions. So you still need to behave in a way that other people aren't being damaged by what you're doing. I just needed to pop on here and say that because I feel like, one, I tried to say that on TikTok, but it got deleted. Even though I was even nicer on there than I was on here, so I don't really know what happened there, Gabbie Hanna. But it's something that needs to be said. You don't just get a pass because you're neurodiverse. You don't just get a pass because you've got mental health conditions. You can't also call yourself a mental health advocate or a neurodiversity advocate or educator or whatever it is that she's now preaching. I'm going to talk about neurodiversity. I'm excited to talk about mental health. You can't be an advocate at the same time as not taking responsibility for your actions and putting it down to your condition. Those two things don't correlate. So it's okay to not be a mental health advocate. You don't have to. You don't have to be a neurodiversity advocate just because you're neurodiverse. What you need to do first is work through your own issues and work through your own insecurities or whatever it is that's causing you to lash out in this manner because it's not reasonable. You're having a meltdown. You need to deal with that. And I just think it's so important to remind people that, no, I have ADHD too, and I'm accountable for everything I do. Everything I say is all down to me, regardless. I can't just go, I have ADHD, so it's fine. You can't do that. And I'd really prefer she didn't do that to her, like, many millions of followers. That's the reason that I've even spoken on this topic, and because I wouldn't usually comment on sort of the drama. Like, I follow it, yeah, I love it. I watch Frenemies, I'm there watching Deaf Noodles, I'm there watching Angelica Oles. I follow it, but I would never usually comment on it. And the only reason I have done is because it's so important to know, take it from someone with ADHD who has done some bad things in her life, you're still accountable for everything you've done. I absolutely accountable to in every standard. So regardless of how bad you're feeling right now or how bad a meltdown is feeling. And I know they feel awful and they can last days and it can be horrendous. And she's going to look back at what she's done this week and think, shit, I'm a fucking idiot. And if she does look back and think that that's good, that's growth. If she doesn't, then she really, really needs to try and work through her ADHD and either take medication or take counselling or whatever it is that she needs to do in order to be a productive human who promotes responsibility and fairness and whatever it is to her fans. She has millions of young fans who are all watching this, and I don't know how many of them have ADHD. I don't know how many of them don't have ADHD. However many of them are sat thinking, if I have ADHD, I can do whatever I want. No, no, no. No, you can't. And it's just so important to say that. So I just wanted to come on here and say that. I've said my piece now. There's a cool true crime video coming up within the next couple of days. I filmed it earlier, so it's definitely coming up. Don't worry, I've already filmed it. I'm not just saying it, it's actually coming this time. And so I'm supposed to tell you to do things like subscribe and ring the bell and like, and I think comment, but I'm going to tell you to do those things. It's an important discussion to have. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this situation? I think it's super important to take responsibility regardless of whatever you're going through. That's just where I stand on this matter. I don't think that my mind can be changed on that, but let's have a discourse, let's chat. So thank you very much for watching if you got to the end of this video. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to attack her. It's more, she needs a little bit of educating, clearly. And secondly, she can't promote this to her followers. They need to know that it's not okay to just do whatever you want and label ADHD on there and think, yeah, it's fine, I can do whatever I want. No, 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 no. No, you cannot. Calm down. Go and pace around your house because I know that's what you want to do. Enjoy is all I'm trying to say. But do not follow in Gabbie's footsteps because it's not a good look for her, it's not a good look for you, it's not a good look for me. Take accountability for your actions. I thought that was obvious, but apparently not. So that's all I wanted to say today. Some murder coming up at the end of the week. Woo! And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the situation. There's also a podcast that I am in coming out at the end of the week. I will link that below. There's a couple of episodes you can watch because I do this weekly with two amazing gentlemen. It is called Blow the Top. It's where we talk about things that have irritated us, sort of like this, but in a short format with some other people. It's amazing. And yeah, follow me on TikTok because when my TikToks don't get deleted, I talk about autism, ADHD, true crime, and just sort of whatever's on my mind. So thank you very much for watching. Tell me your opinions. Bye!